Today I have a fun, chatty video for you, and we're going to be talking about ways to make your living space more whimsical. I don't know, it might be kind of hard to tell, but I'm not somebody who appreciates whimsy at all. In fact, I've never made videos on the subject. I say sarcastically. But yes, obviously, if you've seen my channel at all, you know that I kind of live for whimsy. Life can be tiring, exhausting, bland even. And whimsy is often the cure to that. Whether it be your fashion, your home, your interest, the movies and art you're consuming, it can be really good to step out of the box a little bit, let your imagination kind of roam, and make life more interesting. So I personally am one of those people that like to inject as much whimsy into my day-to-day as possible. Like I said, just makes life a little bit more fun. Recently on social media, people have been talking a lot about this concept of whimsy. So rather than focusing on style, because I already have a video about that, and it's a subject I touch on frequently on my channel, but today it would be fun to kind of focus more on home decor and design, that kind of stuff. So I have a little list I put together of ways to make your living space more whimsical using own examples and footage and clips I took all over my house. Think of this as sort of like a little informal tour. Rather than just giving you more Pinterest inspiration, it would be cool and fun to take you into my own personal space. So with all that said, let's get into the list. The first way to make your living space more whimsical is to add plants and flowers. This could be alive, dried, fake. Obviously, we have different living environments, different amounts of sunlight that comes in, pets, kids, various things that could make maintaining certain kinds of plants more difficult. That's why it's nice that there is always the option to have fake or dried plants. Personally, like to style all of them. I think the combination feels very fun and magical. I do have a collection of plants, but I don't have the greenest of them. So I do often enjoy fake flowers and potted plants, things like that. Pothos is the easiest plant I've taken care of thus far. That and maybe snake plants, super easy to take care of. Those are pretty much the plants that I stick with. That are easy to take care of. But they add so much life into your space literally because they are alive. Even if they aren't technically alive, just that green, that vibrancy, the idea of life, that association with life and growth, it just makes your space feel happier. Now, I can't pull a reference off the top of my head, but feel free to research this. I do remember hearing many studies saying that green is a really positive color for the brain. It is calming, it's good for your body, good for your mind, it's soothing. And I do think that makes sense, because humans come from the earth. We were kind of made to live outside. Once upon a time, we were seeing green everywhere. Trees, grass, flowers. Obviously, times are different. We're inside a lot. A lot of us are completely landlocked. Some of us are in cities and are lucky to see a tree or two. But I think that makes sense, how we moved away from nature as we progressed further into modern life. So I think bringing that into your space is just really good for you. Good thing to connect to. I just think plants are beautiful, love flowers. I don't really have enough of them, to be honest. The next way to make your living space more whimsical is to incorporate handmade art. I have tons of things around my house and my studio that I made myself. So many pieces that my best friend made me. There is various commissioned pieces around my place. I love even thrifting handmade things that other people have done. And usually kind of tell by the quality, and there tends to be like initials or some kind of signature. You can definitely thrift this kind of stuff, but it's fun to like adorn your house with things that you've made or people in your life have made. Those little touches obviously feel super personal, and they're really hard to replicate. Anything that feels, totally unique, one in a million, that obviously has a whimsical feeling to it. Not your run-of-the-mill pieces that you can just buy at Target. They're one of a kind, they're just for you. Something magical about that. But on top of it, just looking visually pleasing and fun for the eyes to digest. I also just like the personal, sentimental aspect of it, of having those things in your house. Like I said, you can buy things anywhere, but it's really different when somebody makes you something. Those are the pieces I'm going to hold on to forever and never let slip through my fingers. But even if you don't have people in your life who make things, try making things yourself. Even if you yourself are not an artist. Get a canvas, just have fun. It's cool to have a piece like that in your house. People may point at it and ask, where'd you get that? And you get to go, oh, I made it. And that's fun. I love handmade things, and I think they're lovely to display in your home. The next way to make your living space more whimsical is to incorporate natural objects like rocks, crystals, wood, things you found outside. I think collections of stuff like that are really fun. I love when people collect things like sea glass and stuff like that. I love observing those things in people's spaces, little hidden stories in collections like that. And again, because life is so modernized and we've kind of lost touch With our connection to nature, I feel like for the most part as people, it's pretty rare when you walk into a house and you feel that exposure to nature. So like I said, whether it is like a cool collection of things or just like the incorporation of certain elements and materials, I think that can add a nice whimsical touch, really liven up the space and make it more exciting. Like wood finishes, natural tones and textures like that, rocks, crystals. I feel like you could even incorporate this into some light taxidermy, insects, butterflies. Those pieces can be really beautiful, and again, incorporate that natural feeling into your place. And you know, as you can tell from my place, the more of that kind of stuff, the better I feel. You know, while I enjoy modern amenities and comforts like that, love having air conditioning, modern spaces can feel very sterile, very unnatural. So I think bringing those things in, like with the plants and the green, like we discussed, I think that can really lift your mood and just all around make your space feel more magical. The next way to make your living space more whimsical is through print, color, and texture. I've got a lot of that going on pretty much in every room, as I am someone who loves print, color, and texture. But this one, again, pretty self-explanatory. A lot of homes tend to be quite neutral, so injecting any amount of color is immediately going to set your place apart, feel more inspired. Instead of some solid color throw pillows for your couch, maybe you go for a fun print. You mix and match, make them all different. Instead of gray furniture, maybe you get blue. You can have fun rugs and blankets. So there's lots of ways to like bring in texture. And color and print, I mean, you can really incorporate that in any way you choose through your art, your paint color choices, the objects that you decorate with. Me, I really can't stand being in a completely blank, neutral space. It makes me feel insane, like I'm in a padded cell waiting for my straitjacket. I see a white wall and I have to put something on it. Whether that is art, decor, paint, you name it. Our spaces often feel lacking personality and passion when we go for these just generic sort of styles and color palettes, things that are mass produced, seeing things we see a million times and we know are safe. I would encourage you to push yourself out of the box a little bit. And I know with renting, like there's only so much you can do with the colors, but that's why I say you can incorporate it in all these other different ways. You don't actually have to make physical changes to the space necessarily to bring all of these things in. Something I kept in mind putting this list together. Print, color, and texture really can't go wrong. So many ways to go about that. If you don't really know where to start, I think going with a little accent color or a pop of color can be a fun way to sort of mix up your space. Next way to make your living space more whimsical is to decorate with knickknacks. I love a good knickknack, maybe too much. Always been a knickknack tchotchke girly since day one. Minimalism, we don't know her. But I love knickknacks. However, I do feel cluttered if they're kind of just scattered all about without really an intention or a home. So creating little vignettes is like how I like to style things a lot in my house. Whether you gather a few knickknacks on a shelf, you set one next to a painting, scatter them amongst your bookshelves. There's ways to kind of like contain the chaos that it doesn't feel so overwhelming. And that personally adds to the whimsy to me, because then I am more drawn to like that specific area rather than looking around and not knowing where to start. That like simple curation, it just drives the eye to look at certain things. So when you're styling and you don't know like how to put things together, just try that, like creating a perfect little area first, and then just keep working on that until you have, you know, the room fully decorated. But thrift stores, antique stores, that's a great place to get knickknacks. You can make them yourself, gifts from friends, souvenirs, things like that. You can really display anything. Like I said, it really just comes down to styling. But if knickknacks are not your thing, you can always go for like quirky decor pieces, things that are like a little bit larger, more sculptural. Instead of tiny little things everywhere, you know, you can just opt for larger pieces if that's more your vibe. The next way to make your living space more whimsical is to decorate with souvenirs and mementos. We already touched on this a little bit. It's handmade art, knickknacks, things like that. I love souvenirs. I think they're cute. A handful of postcards. I tend to really like collecting those. Magnets too. Often too, when I'm traveling, I might pick up something from that area. So then it might not necessarily be a souvenir, but it's just something that makes you think of that time. Something that's fun that I also do sometimes is I'll keep my eye out for things revolving around places like I have been before. Maybe the souvenir didn't come from that exact trip. But again, it's still an association, like a memory with that place. And then you're saving something from, you know, the landfill and giving it a new home. But beyond souvenirs, you know, like photo albums, piles of movie tickets, things like that. I love things with sentimental value. I walk into other people's places, I notice those things immediately. I love when people have little shelves dedicated to their friends, or they have some weird poster on the wall that I don't know the origin of. I like seeing those very specific details in people's living spaces. Again, sort of just like creating your living space into this living, breathing time capsule expression of you and your interests and the people in your life, the places you've been, the things you like. That feels so whimsical. And I think people approach homes like they are meant to be shown to other people. We're supposed to keep them neat and tidy and plain, because that's what satisfies the most palates, I guess, the least offensive thing to do. But I just can't live that way. And I really have to express myself. It's very annoying. But I like seeing my life and myself reflected in my living environment. The next way to make your living space more whimsical is to shop vintage and antiques. I mostly shop secondhand for most things. Clothing, definitely, especially home decor. There's also tons of antique shops where I live. It's nice to have so many options to look around. Vintage shopping, secondhand shopping, it's not super accessible for everybody depending where you live, but if you can, I encourage you to do that. And it's often the more affordable option as well, and of course the environmentally better option. There's also websites like Etsy. You can go on Facebook Marketplace. There's different ways to collect pieces and find cool things outside of physically going to thrift stores, antique stores. But a lot of what you see behind me is vintage and antique. Most of the home stuff you see in my house is going to be secondhand. And my taste just happens to lean towards vintage. As I mentioned earlier, I love different wood tones. I love the texture. I love the ornamental details. I love all these things that are lost in modern production. But if you're looking in stores and you're like, nothing's my style, try going to a thrift store, try going to an antique store. You might surprise yourself with what you find. But yes, with everything being so plain and square and uniform, I think it's nice to see original things, things that were made to last, things that were made with intention. And with it being outside of the norm, it immediately feels more whimsical and interesting. And a lot of vintage decor furniture tends to have really nice details, just things you wouldn't see in modern products. All around, I think vintage and antiques instantly make your place feel super whimsical. And the last thing I have on my list for you today is to invite inner child play and experimentation. I talk about this all the time on this channel, but we as adults often forget how to play. Playing is like how I get through a lot of life. I just try things. I throw paint at the wall. Creativity and play can show up in a lot of different ways, like even cooking your food, menial tasks, things like that. What helps me is when I'm feeling too rigid, I try to ask myself how I can have fun with this. Is there a way to look at this that I haven't tried it before? I try to give myself a little bit of a breather, and then usually the inspiration and creativity then flows. But with all visual art, and really just anything, it takes practice to get it right. To get it right is obviously subjective, as all art. Like I said, I've learned everything I've learned through trying, through experimenting, through playing and doing. I hear people say oh, well, I can't dress like you, I can't decorate like you. And I'm like, that's not true. Have you let yourself try? So I think a lot of our restrictions with ourselves, when we judge ourselves and we feel like we can't do something, it's not that we can't. It's just that we haven't yet applied ourselves. We are afraid to fail. We don't want to look at all the messy in between before we make progress. But the journey is a part of the ride, and that's what's fun. And then you can look back and go, oh wow, my taste has changed, or this room is so much better since, I made these adjustments to it. It's okay to grow and change and learn. You should be looking back at things and going, oh, I don't know about that now. Because to me, if you're making mistakes or bad choices, then you're trying, you're living. I might not like what I liked 10 years ago, but that's not a bad thing. It's good to shift, experiment, and play. And when life gets too serious, when you don't know what to do, you don't know how to approach things, listening to your inner child, going within, can really help free you with your creativity. But all around, just try things. Just try it. Always change things if you don't like it. So my advice is to start, and before you know it, you'll have a household full of whimsy. So that is all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, let me know if you would like to see more stuff kind of revolving around home decor, interior design, that kind of thing. Mostly focus on fashion here. It's another area of passion of mine. definitely something I would love to explore through content. But I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any ideas and suggestions for how to make your living space more whimsical, please leave them in the comments so we all can read them together. Liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that stuff really helps out the channel. Thank you so much if you watched this entire video. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!